Hey everyone, Dr. Frunkey here with a little bit of a different video today. Instead of highlighting a specific knife, I wanted to talk about my experience with a knife modifier. If you go way back on my channel, you'll know that I'm a big fan of these particular knives, the 0392 series. Well, I had so many of them that I ended up trying to customize a couple of them. I actually started out with one that was customized by Fanatic Edge. I did a series of videos on that knife, and then I tried a knife modification with Josh over at Razor Edge Knives. You can go and check out my video where I sort of talk about the different modifications that he did on this knife. But it's a really special knife to me for a number of reasons, and I just wanted to talk about Josh very briefly and his services, and basically just do a bit of free advertising for him. Honestly, he's not paying me. We haven't discussed this in any way, but I did just have this knife come through, so I wanted to feature this in a video and sort of talk about the things that Josh is capable of doing. Now, I'm not going to be able to really discuss his pricing structure. From the times that I've worked with him before, it was not quite as expensive, and then it was considerably more expensive. I can tell you through the experience with my knife, what it costs and everything. But it's just I just wanted to talk about his work and what he's offering to the community, because he's doing a great job. He really provides what I think is a unique service in the community right now, and he does a darn good job of it. So Josh and his services are special to me, not only because he does a good job, but because of where he lives. I actually grew up in South Carolina. Now I haven't really talked about this before, but my high school years and a little bit younger all the way up through college, my family lived in Greenville, South Carolina. And just down the street from Greenville is a little town called Easley. It's actually near where Clemson University is, so if you're familiar with that, go Tigers. In any case, I spent a lot of time growing up in Greenville and Easley. One of my best friends lived in Easley, so I was there all the time. So when I learned that Josh was doing this out of Easley, South Carolina, I was happy to try to support what I considered local business. And he really does do a great job. It brings me a lot of pleasure to send a package to Easley, South Carolina. I just like seeing that address. So there is a bit of a personal aspect for me on this, but I want the work to speak for itself. So I brought these two modified knives out because I wanted to compare them to the stock versions of these knives and show you what he can do. So this is the standard 0392, and the one we're going to look at was my 0392 black. So if you can just imagine that this is all covered in black DLC, even the blade, all black DLC. And then I wasn't really happy with that look. I wanted something a little bit different. I had a specific idea in mind, and Josh said he would give it a try and that absolutely he could do it well. So let's just look at these different details, specifically look at the blade. This blade is flat ground, and it was also flat ground but covered in DLC. So I sent the knife to him, and I said I want all the DLC off, and I want a hollow grind, I want a compound grind. And he said, all right, we're going to make that happen. So take a look at this wicked hollow grind with the flat grind out at the tip, and all satin finished steel now. So every single surface, even the teeth, in between the teeth and the jimping, have been cleaned out, and there is not a speck of DLC. Even the teeth in the flipper tab are clean. No one else is doing that to that degree that I can tell in the industry. I've handled quite a few different knives that have attempted to do this, but nothing even close. And then the grind work is absolutely out of control. Now, he specifies on his site that he uses a very specific type of grinding technique that should not ruin the heat treat of the steel. So I can't explain the science to you, but I can recommend you check out his site. He knows what he's doing, and he's putting a lot of thought into it. My buddy Nico, aka Today's Grail _ Tomorrow's Beater, sent him his Wharncliffe edition. So we can take a look at the stock Wharncliffe. The one that was sent was also the full DLC Wharncliffe. So if you can just imagine this whole knife covered in the black DLC that you see here and here, head to toe. And my buddy Nico said, I would like to clean that up. Again, this knife comes with a flat grind. He decided to keep the flat grind on this knife. And then just clean off all the DLC. So again, this thing was covered head to toe completely, and even down to the jimping in the flipper tab, everything has been cleaned out. No one else is doing it this cleanly. All of the branding is taken off. It's a very sterile looking blade. On this purple black Warncliffe edition, it looks especially nice because of that purple hardware. Now, the black one I added the copper hardware on, but what he's done is distressed the DLC that came on the handles, and he's done it in a very similar fashion. Nico saw mine, and he really wanted to finish it in a similar way. But it looks great on both of these knives. I'm just trying to highlight these sort of... It's messy. It looks like it's been used, and so it takes away a lot of the concern when you're thinking about carrying this knife. And so I certainly carry this knife pretty routinely, and I'm not afraid to use it. The grind is spectacular. What I can show you is the edge on this knife. You might even get a face reveal if you're lucky here. The edge is mirror polished. He did this at 16 degrees per side on my knife, and in CTS 204P, that's absolutely spectacular. I can't tell you exactly what he did on this. I didn't ask him. But again, he does work on the Wicked Edge, and while there may be some proponents and detractors of the Wicked Edge system, I will tell you he is a scientist of the Wicked Edge. He is a professor of the Wicked Edge. He's not just some guy off the street who happened to get one last week. He makes YouTube videos saying how he can achieve that. Now, I had a buddy of mine achieve this amazing edge on my other 0392, and I am a big fan of nice edges on there. In any case, I just wanted to highlight this new knife that I had in my possession with a quick video. Talk about Josh over at Razor Edge Knives. You can check him out at razoredgeknives.com. He's got an Instagram where he posts a lot of his work. You can actually see both of these knives that I feature on my channel on his Instagram, where he talks a little bit more about his process. But he also offers scale modification. He'll do blade swaps where he can actually grind you a completely new blade. I've seen him do hinderers with an XM18 handle and just a completely wicked different blade. Just non-hinderer, just insanity. So he can do a lot of handle modifications with some grinding and milling and some rock patterning and stuff like that. So take a look at his work. He really offers what I consider to be some of the highest level of knife modification for a relatively good price, and he's relatively available. Now, my knife, this was originally a $400 knife, and I ended up spending close to $370 to have it modified to get that compound grind and all of this finish work done. And that was not cheap. So his services are not cheap, but the work itself is absolutely spectacular. I can vouch for him ×3. Now, my original experience with him was actually way back on my Spyderco Nirvana. You can go back on my channel and see the videos that I made with that knife. I had one of the early full flat ground versions done by Josh from way back in the day. So that knife was incredibly done, very clean, very perfect, amazing edge. And now I have two more knives to show you and just add to that satisfaction that he's doing a great job. So happy to support a local business over there. I think he's doing some great work. He will do this to any knife. This is not just a 0392. I mean, do you have a Kaiser with some slab-sided titanium scales and something you want to do with the blade? Do you have a hinderer? He's done a lot of work with hinderers. He's, similar to Will Moon. He's got sort of this hollow grind, beautiful thing going on with his hinderer regrinds. So really, really awesome work. Go ahead and check him out. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. Tell me if you've had some experiences with Josh over there. I want to sort of foster some experience documentation down in the comments below, so let me know. Anyways, go ahead and click subscribe to my YouTube channel here. Head over to Instagram and follow me at Dr. Frunkey. And as always, guys, this is Dr. Frunkey saying take care.